Well, 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 Ravnica allegiance. We meet again. See what people think about this. I know what I'm thinking of taking here, but we'll let the crowds weigh in. Nikia has a rare symbol on her, but the net balance of her ability tends to be that she's just okay. We could take her and build around her and try to have some fun with double mana creatures and stuff, but I think the pick here is between Gate Colossus and the Bell Haunt if we just want to take a chance on Orzhov coming our way. Somebody likes the Bell Haunt, somebody likes Nikia, but I'm down with the... I think you got to start with the Gate Colossus here. 3 uncommons, so we have nothing to look up on that front. Arink's Blade Juggler, Essence Capture stand out to me here, or just taking a Plaza for our pick one Gate, Gate Colossus. F9er, I hear you, but what am I supposed to do? I want to win games of Magic, and pack one, pick one Gate Colossus sure helps with that. Yeah, I kind of like the Juggler. We'll probably get one of these back on the wheel anyway. Just take good stuff. You take a still have 3 uncommons, and no info up there other than that bots aren't interested in these Azorius uncommons. Azorius seems to be wide open, and there's a guild gate there. Bonds, you mean binding? Yeah, you must mean binding. Yeah, I kind of feel like we just take the cheaper removal here. Sky Tether is fine, but may in fact come all the way around. We are still at 3 uncommons and nothing to learn from bot preferences here. It's worth noting that there's a missing gate. That's unusual for bots for 3 picks in to a gate to be gone. Did they update the bots again? I didn't look. Let's see. I'm going to take a brief moment because I think I have the announcement up here. I'm going to look at find bot. No, it doesn't look like they've done anything to the bots. That just seems really unusual to me. Usually they don't take gates that early. Chat wants the Fairy Duelist. I kind of want the removal. Slimebind or Tether. Duelist is cheaper. Y'all are that high on the Duelist, huh? Yeah, Spider seems fine, but I don't think it's the pick here. We'll have time for Spiders. And if we abandon the gate plan, I want to at least be heading towards some kind of a real deck, and Azorius is a real deck. I mean, Esper Control is a real deck, and Azorius is a real deck, so I do like taking a blue card here. We'll take... I'll go with Chat and take the Duelist, but I kind of like the Slimebind. Too early to tell really what's truly open, but... So now we have an Insight we can take... I'm on the engineer has been falling in my estimation. It's a glorified killable locket to me now. I know it makes 2, not 1, but it feels similar to a locket to me. Oh yeah, let's check uncommons. Good call, Fawn. We haven't had really the chance to yet. So we're gonna go to our print run and find Wilderness. Regenesis or Consecrate Consume. Probably Consecrate Consume, once again, showing that like I tend to lean away from Orzhov just because I feel like the bots take it very highly. Find it very, very tough to get. You found Wrecking Beast? Or you want me to take Wrecking Beast? No. I'm not going to take Wrecking Beast. Yeah, we'll take the Insight. I don't want to marry this Colossus. I want to see what's actually open here. We could take a Messenger as a simple Azorius pick to stay on that track, or we take the Gate and support Colossus, even though this casts nothing in our pile so far. If this were a half-color Gate, I think I would take it over the Messenger, but the fact that it's not even an on-color, not even a half-color Gate, makes me just want to take the Messenger. So, like, here's a Gate I'm willing to take over this stuff, I think. There's a Clear the Mind. We could try to think of this as a Clear the Mind deck and hope we run into the right stuff. This is interesting. This is like, do we lean into our Gate Colossus Splash Juggler with the Guild Gate, or lean more into our Azorius start with the Watchdog? I think I like Watchdog over the other 3 Azorius cards in the pack. What do you all think? I mean, if we're a Clear the Mind deck, I feel like we have time to get them. The bots don't value them at all. So, yeah, and we're also... Sorry, checking my phone for a second. You like Fairy over the Dog. That's interesting. Well, Gate may be the pick, but I'm curious. Sir Elgar likes... like the Fairy over the Dog. Let's take the Gate. We already have a Duelist. There's kind of some diminishing returns on those. Here's another Gate to shore up this action. And I'll take the 3rd Gate here over the Slime Bind, since we seem to be now getting the support for the Colossus. We can take a Quench. Viscopa, at least, is castable with what we're doing. With all of our Gates so far, we can cast this Vampire, and it maybe holds the ground a little bit for us. I like the lifelink over the unblockability and the castable with anything type deal. So we'll take that. Sage's Rose Savant is a fine 2, which I like a little more than... You know, if I knew we were going to get a high alert, I would take Wall of Lost Thoughts. But not knowing if we're going to get a high alert, we probably want Savant. And the Spider did come back, so we can see if that finds a home later. Wrecking Beast, I'm just going to take Vault Progress over a Wrecking Beast, I think. I don't think this is going to be a Wrecking Beast deck. This is our Wrecking Beast right here. I think Slinger more likely to end up in our deck than the Combat Trick. You will be absorbed. We have an Absorb in the rare slot, which is just okay. But nothing else really going on in this pack besides the Black Splash or the Gate. We can take Grotesque Demise. We can assume we're going to go heavier into Gates and take something like a Soarform Hybrid, but we're not really near green yet. Kind of just want to take the Absorb or the Gate, or the Duelist and the Gate probably wheel here, so maybe it's Absorb versus Demise. What do y'all think? Absorb getting a little bit of the vote here. I wonder if Absorb would get this much of the vote if it weren't a rare. You really think Absorb's better for this than Demise? I find we just want to kill stuff and survive. Gaining 3 life certainly helps survive, though. You don't have to push me too hard to take the rare anyway, so we'll take it. Here's a Chillbringer. It can pop right into this deck that I like over a Guildgate or a second Juggler. Chile. What do we like here? We can go grab a Gate. We can get another Duelist. Kind of like... Again, my Gate decks of late have been more 2-color plus Gate support, and it's not like we have a ton of payoffs here, so I like sticking to our more Azorius guns, like making that go away for now. Yeah, people are all over the place on this one, because it's not really a great pack for us at all. Very, very split on what the correct pick is here, which means it probably doesn't matter much, because it means this is probably just a bad pack. Oligarch is a little rough to expect early, but and we have an absorb. You know, we're looking to splash black, not. Let's take the dead revels on that splash. Like if we got, I guess the duelist is maybe a little more playable. The revels will wheel. Let's take the duelist. If we get that high alert, we'll be happy we have a duelist. Now we have an interesting pick between the summary judgment and a second Chillbringer. Pontiff is arguable as well, but again falls into that Orzhov early drop and not really splashable. I get it, F9er, but Oligarch gets worse and worse as the game goes on, and I'm not looking to reliably cast black spells on turn 2 this game. We're split 50-50 in the voting so far on Chillbringer versus Summary Judgment. There's some support for the Grotesque Demise, it looks like, but I think we're Chillbringer's Summary Judgment. Yeah, if you look at it as removal versus Chillbringer, it's a closer run. I'm going to take a look at curve considerations as well. This is hopefully a 3. Yeah, it's not like we have too much going on at 5 yet, and Chili's so good. I'm going to take the Chili. And Skewer and Gate are tempting here, but again, we're going to stick to being an Azorius deck looking to splash some Gate action. And take the Eel in the meantime. This is a half color, but I think we take the final payment here. We're 2 into the splash, and this is a great splash card. We could take clear the stage as well, but I'd rather just have the final payment here. And there's a Gate and a Juggler and a Collapse. These are all great for what we're up to. What do you think? The banner, about not correcting for Deckmaster. Oh, and that noise is not the plumber. Again, let's delete that. That noise is Ryan Spain. Looks like Juggler versus Gate is the question here. Juggler is less replaceable, but Gates, I think, are more important, especially if we come up with another Gate reward in the next pack. I'm going to take the Gate. It also really solidifies the final payment Juggler splash we actually already have. All right, if I knew pick 8 was also going to have a Gate, maybe I would have changed that pick. But I'm taking another one here. Now we're really solid in the black splash. We can take this, no problem. We could even take a Trumpeter. Not playing a Trumpeter, though. Who are we kidding? Should take Vault Progress. I weep. I weep. Anytime I'm not in green, it's painful when the hybrids go by. I guess we take the uncommon that we could even play if we really wanted to. We're not in a position to play the Open the Gates yet, but we'll take it just in case. I think we're just Esper Control with a Gate, with a side of Gates. This account really doesn't get enough play or spend to be truly worth rare drafting. We have a lot of stuff built up, but I think we just take the Consecrate here. Oh, Hellkite. Oh, Hellkite. We're going to be a grown-up. Here's the grown-up pick. Guildgate maybe takeable here. There's really not much going on for us. We could Thought Collapse or Eel, actually, is probably where we're at. Let's look at our curve. 3 is still pretty light. Maybe we thought collapse over the eel. 4 is pretty light as well. No love for the thought collapse in the voting so far. Probably wheels. Makes sense to take the eel here, because I doubt the eel wheels, but the thought collapse probably does. So that makes some sense. We'll take the eel. I don't think we can make this work with what we're up to here. Rather, maybe have another final payment. We're also running out of chances for any more gate support. But I think final payment does more for us from this pack than anything else. All of the Orzhov gates are available to us. We get them all. Now we got to think about how we are doing playable-wise. 18. So I think we need to focus on some playables here. We could take this gate, but we'll make sure, if it comes around, we'll take it then. And they've been coming around. I think it's Messenger versus Slimebind or Quench here. And Messenger just seems solid and, like, you know, just solid. Don't love it, but we'll do it. Here we go. Look at all of the Orzhov gates. Crazy. That's nice. And a Plaza, or we could take Collision Colossus, or even the Rakdos gate. I'm not sure Plaza is better for us than just a half-color black-red gate. We have 20 cards. We need 3 more playables. Yeah, we can get 3 more playables in the next run of packs. What did we Windmill Slam first pick? Because, oh no, this is pick 7. Sorry, I was thinking we had seen this already, but we haven't. Do we even have a deck for it? This is what always happens to me. I finally see a high alert, and it's like we're not even close. Like, what are we even doing? We get some 3/3 messengers. And that's like literally it. We can do nothing with high alert. So high alert is not on our to-do list here. That leaves Eel or Duelist or Grudian. We could take a Grudian as not having a ground Death Toucher yet and being lighter on 3s than 4s. Or we can take another Duelist. We have 2 Duelists, and again, I think they have diminishing returns if you're expecting to get much out of your 3rd. We could take Cry of the Carnarium, actually. With all of these gates we have, and with the expectation that we may even get a couple of the black-white gates on the wheel, we can... Sir Elgar, are you trying to suggest that that's a reason to take high alert? Like, that's not a reason to take high alert. Yeah, Cry is great against the format and is kind of what we want to do in this Control-y gate deck. So I'm actually on the I'm on the Cry now. We'll see if we can get there on mana with things like this. You take Consign to the Pit, but I'm gonna take another gate. Too important for us. And there's other playables here for us, like we can take the Infiltrator or just another big thing or some cheap stuff. Let's look at curve here as we try to figure out what our deck actually needs. We're going to play a lot of gates, so a lot of our mana is entering tapped. The Commando just kind of sits there as a 3/2. Like, how much worse than a Blade Juggler is that? This is more of a 4. Yeah, I guess we take the Sphinx. I was just making sure. We have enough going on in our early drops that we can do it. That was the main thing. We're protected enough to go for a 7-drop. And... Scuttlegator versus a gate. We are at 22. And if we needed to, we could bring in Drill Bit. Full stop, like Drill Bit. Is our one that we can bring in. I'm going to take the gate over the Gator. Okay, we found something. Like, we can at least play the Prying Eyes, or even the Quench. We're trying to go so long, I don't love Quench, but it may be better to just get something we can do with, something we can do early. Over something else to do late. We may play an Expose main as well. That's something we could consider over the Quench. So we got 7 ways to get black just from our gates. That is good support for that that sweeper. And that means we have 8 total gates. Seems fine. Wish we had a little more removal, but we have 2 payments and a binding, and a consecrate. So, and a sweeper. So hopefully we have enough interaction to get us to our Colossuses. Esper Gates. I haven't done the math on the numbers yet, but I think this is our deck. My question for chat would be, do we want to run an Exposed to Daylight over something like Quench? I think everything else makes sense. Here's our current number situation, 14-9. That's not bad. Yeah, Collision, the lack of respect for Collision from the bots is weird. This is a best of 1, so that's why we have to decide here. Oh no, it's not. It's best of 3, right, sorry. Yeah, great. So we'll start with Quench and then sideboard. I'm getting mixed up on what I'm playing. Here, let me help with that mix-up by adjusting the details now. So this record is going to be 0-0. Account is free to play 1. And format. We've got ourselves RNA. Best of 3. Yeah, Quench is supported with the 2 duelists. That's a good call as well. All right, this is our deck. I'm going to take a screen. And it's getting chilly and I need a bio break, so I'm going to put on a song and be right back for round 1 of this new gate deck. I'll be right back. Hey all, thanks for your patience. Oh, I didn't really check. I didn't verify my mana, I realized. We will accept what comes our way this game and make. I think we're going to be low on blue. We didn't make any adjustments, and like most of our gates were white-black. So I expect that our blue is not right in this deck, and we're going to do the best we can with game 1 under those circumstances. 7 islands plus plaza and gate is not too bad. So, okay, we have 9 sources. Still gotta mulligan this. I collected comic books for years, and my first job was in a comic book store. First major job, and first job was Baskin Robbins ice cream, but worked for a long time in a comic book store. So I'm a big comic book fan, is the bottom line. And yeah, I think Into the Spider-Verse was one of the best movies I've seen in years, and is easily the best superhero movie ever made. But I also enjoy more standard fare superhero stuff, you might say. I think it's amazing that CGI has gotten to the point where directors' visions can be executed so faithfully, and superhero movies can really actually be good. So 1, 2, 3, this would be gate number 4. That helps with getting the gate out, getting the Colossus out quickly. So we'll keep, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're close to 7, but I'm going to actually scry the Sphinx to the bottom. We have a big finisher in the Colossus, and I'd rather find more stuff to help us between now and then. Furnace is on, Jacket is on, so Furnace Dragon is making some noise. Better than the plumbing noises yesterday. My goodness, that was rough on everybody. Mad props to those who toughed out the crazy plumbing noises yesterday and hung out all stream. Appreciate that. I wonder if this is retaliatory delays from D. Scott. Although they took a while to decide on their opener, maybe they're multitasking as well. Yeah, K-Cat, I get it. I don't blame anybody for saying, sorry, Ryan, can't hang with you today. But I also was, I mean, I was going to play anyway. I was just going to, I guess, all I could do was play through, you know what I mean? We'll trade off the Savant for the Juggler here. We're just trying to make it. Hey, Peas of Crab, yes. If we do lunch boxes command, we'll tell you a little about that. I'm a big Joss Whedon fan, too, so I really liked his Avengers movie works. Oh. Well, how handy. Why did it take Oppo 12 years to make that great play? I don't know. But I don't think we're in, like, chump mode yet here, but that hurt. So if we go island here, we can play the eel, but then we cannot play Colossus next turn because we have 4 mana with a gate reduction to 5. And I think we just... But the eel only trades with stuff Oppo's doing anyway. Still, that's fine for us. I think we need to play to the eel here. Otherwise, we're just taking 5 for sure. Maybe 8 if they remove the Savant. And I think if we go to 8, we can't win. So we need to put up more blockers right now. Or sorry, if we go to... yeah, if they hit us for 8, we can't win is what I meant to say. This, and cross our fingers. Okay. Well, we did get something to play, so that's good. They get their choice. It's not going to be... it's not going to be great for us. They get to just sack the Syndicate Messenger, and they hit us for 3 instead of 4. But we do get 2 life back, and it's not going to get any... It's not like Consume... Well, I suppose if we waited, Consume might get something bigger, but this is Orzhov, so maybe they play a Thrall, and we could get a Thrall. But I don't think we can go to 6 trying to do that. This play at least keeps us at 9 after all of this is said and done. The flyers are the toughest part about what we're seeing here. Need air support right away. I could sandbag 2 gates, but it's not going to really be relevant this turn either. This is going to stabilize... I mean, again, it's the flyers that we need to stabilize with. And of course, if they take the Colossus out, we're kind of done for. But if we get one of our many flying support cards... Chillbringer would be great here. Or land, we could get more land. Yeah, we're stone dead, but we'll keep everything in hand and pretend like we're not. I can't imagine a sequence of draws where Oppo doesn't put us to a test that kills us. Just throwing in some full controls here to disguise the fact that we have nothing but land. Alright, well, by not scooping, we found out they have a vampire to worry about, but it's not going to change much for us. We could have played that and maybe had a block, but they just attack in the air and then the lifelink doesn't matter. Okay, so bad start here for what I think is a good deck. Decent deck, at least. We see anything to expose? No? Let's check our mana. I wasn't sure about where we were at there. So white has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And blue has 1, 2, 9. So I guess it did a good job. Although we don't need the swamp. So let's make it 9, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I'm not going to board in a speculative expose. I might against Azorius specifically, since so much of Azorius's good removal is enchantment based, but even then I want to see it. But, Law Mage's Binding and -0, -4, -0, that kind of thing. We need more blue than white, but not, in my mind, to the point that we would go 11 or 10-8 over 9-9, I think. Need some help, but we're going to keep it. Unfortunately, Fairy Duelist cannot block and kill the darn Plague White because this creature is so darn good. But we will go ahead and at least prevent 2 when it attacks. Steady gates. No plays this turn, but turn 5 Gate Colossus is pretty sweet. There's an argument for like running out Chillbringer first here. See if it eats some removal, and then our Colossus is around for the longer haul. But we'll also, we have Sphinx's Insight to find more gates. I say let's just put them on, put the pressure on with the Gate Colossus and see how it goes. So none of that can block the Colossus. And they're tapped out, so we don't even need to do anything pre-combat. Let's bring the chill here, and then hopefully this stops the messengers.
All right, everyone, chill.
Yeah, Dead Revels also gets the Colossus back if they kill it. Now we're just going to keep taking the chip damage from the white for right now. Might throw a Syndicate Messenger in front of it upcoming. I could block, and we could get the Chillbringer back with the Dead Revels, but I'd rather trade with the Thrall if we're going to do that. If we draw an untapped land, we get Messenger plus Quench. If we don't draw an untapped land, I might go Sphinx's Insight, attempt to find an untapped land for Quench. Quench is losing its usefulness here, which is the problem with putting it in a deck that's not tempo-oriented. I like Quench in a tempo-oriented deck. It's a little rougher when you're going long and expecting to have some games where your opponent has 7, 8, 9 mana, you know? Yeah, we should Quench while we can, but I'm not super interested in passing the turn with 5 mana up just to Quench. So, we are left in that spot, though. What are we going to do? I think we're going to keep attacking with the Colossus, first of all. Make him block with the Thrall, if they're going to block. And as much as I'd like to Quench, I think we're going to Messenger here. Insight is also an option. It's fine. But if we just pretend Quench wasn't in the hand, what would you want to do? And I think it's put blockers in the air. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put blockers in the air. There's a good reason why we just can't take a lot of damage against Vindictive Vampire. But this we can figure out, we can kill the Thrall, you know, that would be excellent. Let's go ahead and make this trade, and we'll take one from the Panther kind of in perpetuity here. Hoping to find something to get rid of the Thrall. Like, it may be worth at this point. Let's main phase the Insight, and if we find that we could find a final payment and just win right here. So let's try that first. Come on, Oppo, are you just trying to torture us? Ha. Hey, look! Plans coming to fruition and stuff. And I'm actually... I don't know how this goes wrong. I guess a pump spell +2/+2 could create something that allows them to block the Gate Colossus. And on the chance that that happens, I'm actually going to sacrifice a creature as opposed to taking 5. Both adapt and why play with the audio? In general, I like it. I mean, I think the audio is very well done in the game. They kind of hired a contractor audio wizard to do the audio, and I think they've kind of knocked it out of the park for the most part. Yeah, Colossus is format warping, especially on Arena, but I think it just should have been a rare card. Colossus is just, this is a rare. This is a rare. If there was a rare symbol on that, nobody would even blink for a second. Alright, well that worked out for us. Did we see anything new to expose to daylight? I don't think we did we? And collision on 2 sources of red, not quite worth it. Alright, so we're going to run it back and hope the Quench finds some usefulness. We could also drill bit instead of Quench. We'll stick with the Quench. The Rakdos Guildgate is an ETB tapped swamp, and while we don't need it, reliably getting our Gate Colossus out a turn earlier is relevant, and putting Gate Colossus back on top of Library is relevant enough that I'm willing to play an ETB tapped swamp that accomplishes that for us. That feeling when you smell ant. You know what I mean? Ants kind of smell like lemon, or at least the little black ants in the Pacific Northwest do. Other than Gates, what deck do you prefer in RNA? I really just want the open lane. I'm really liking the format for that. I don't come in hoping for anything other than to a clear indication of what guild I should be in. The monster truck rally is over. Yeah, they kind of smell lemony. If you, especially if they die, crushed black ants smell like lemon. We'll keep this. I like the Magician's Penn and Teller. I've seen him a couple times and have been a fan for decades, and they have a book called How to Play with Your Food, and it's basically a lot of tricks, jokes, and whatnot you can do that are food related. And one of them they mention is just literally eat ants. You know, that if you wanted to freak somebody out at a picnic or whatever, just pick up one of those black ants and go ahead and eat it. It's not poisonous, has a little lemony taste or whatever. You can eat ants to freak people out. This is not my advice to you. This is me telling you what I read in a Penn and Teller book, so keep that in mind. Would be cool if we can go Saints Row Savant into Fairy Duelist to create as an 0 for 1. I have not tried it. I feel no need to consume ants, but chuckled at the idea of it. Right. See, it's so your dad is down with the Penn and Teller joke. It's like it's not going to hurt you. It's fine. Well, more and more gates to head us towards that Colossus. Yeah, let's keep them. Telegraphing it, but I'm going to stay back. I mean, if D. Scott's paying attention at all, they're not going to attack into my stupid Fairy Duelist, but I guess they're not paying attention. Or they've got a trick of their own. But I understand, D. Scott. I still, like, I keep walking into Fairy Duelist tricks, as those who've watched the stream very well know. We could play an island here and cast Sphinx's Insight, but if we play a gate here, we can Colossus next turn, so we're going to gate. All right. We got there. Lost the first one, but came back for the victoire. Oh, oops. Banana Jack did the old drink the ash can soda. Ooh. Ugh. I mean, I guess even that's just like eating a little fairly sterile dirt, right? I don't. Sterile dirt maybe is a contradiction in terms, but you know what I mean. Like cigarette ash probably won't hurt you. Oh, eating tobacco will certainly hurt you. 5 land, low on gates, not the best opener, but we have a quench to stop whatever they do early. I'm gonna call this a risky keep. We're definitely risking some flood here. And this isn't really a card yet. This might have been a loose keep, really. But now we have something else to do, so we're not gonna get run over. Great. All right. It was risky, but now it's totally working out. We get to quench literally anything they do. And you know what? I am going to quench that. Not, you know, I don't like this card, but whatever. We're quenching whatever they do, keeping them slowed down a bit, and trying to get to our good stuff. We could also... Oh, interesting. We don't have a final payment yet. So I'm going to go ahead and play a Plains here and Insight. Wow, we got lucky. Like, not only that we didn't, we got spells, but also the majority of our draws have been non-lands, so it's been going all right. This is going to be a problem. Probably let's make them spend 6 mana, making it a 6/6 before we make a final payment on it, but we'll set up for that eventual turn. And right now, get an eel countered. I'm expecting, in fact, with Frilled, like, Frilled Mystic is such a brutal counter that maybe we let this go. That's screaming Frilled Mystic. And we're not under a ton of pressure, and we have a final payment in case of real emergency, so I'm going to just pass it here. This may make me have to use the payment before they get up to 6 on the hybrid, which is too bad. But I should decide now, because if I don't do that, then next turn we do have an island to play, and we'll have 6 mana, so we could have, like, Eel, whether it gets countered or not, plus the final payment. And we're at 20, so I am going to take it here. We'll also see maybe they'll play something else, even that we feel the need to payment. No. Yeah, this is so clearly Mystic. But unfortunately, we don't have much of a play on that front at this point. And I guess, so then the question is, do we want to give them the Eel or the Messenger for that Mystic? Because I think we have to give them something now. And I mean, we don't have to. We don't necessarily have to, but what's our end game with the Mystic? Like, in order to play around the Mystic, we need to force them to do something else. And right now, if the game doesn't change, they win. So that's where the final payment comes in. Yeah, so we can also choose which one we want to counter, but that's what, like, I really want that hybrid dead. We don't have the tools beyond this final payment to deal with it. So I'm gonna give them the Eel to counter. I want the Messenger to survive because it will stop the Duelist. Interesting. Okay, not what we expected. Gonna try and get him to spend on the hybrid. They're not falling for it. I am gonna pass. All right. Do we have anything that gets rid of that permanently? Only if we, like, kill it on a Cry of the Carnarium turn, it looks like. Oh, no, Law of Mage's Binding. So we're looking for Law of Mage's Binding to get the deal with the Gate Colossus. I'm worried if we kill it now, we just lose to a 6/6 anyway. I guess no matter what, then we use the binding we find on the hybrid. Okay, fine. We gotta... although, I'm gonna... I think... wait until here. 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 mana. We can messenger and absorb. We can final payment and messenger. I guess we final payment messenger. I don't want to pay the 5 life, so I'm going to put messenger in front of the hybrid, make them have to pump it in order to not have it die, and then we'll final payment it away. Might want to sandbag that for getting a Colossus back. 4, 5, 6, 7. We're not really doing much with 2. Let's get this Sphinx out. I'm going to hold on to the gate for future Colossus purposes right now. And we will double block the hybrid and get the Sphinx back with Dead Revels. I would go look at my graveyard to see what else is there, but I don't even want the highlighting to appear over my graveyard yet. But this is what we got. Hopefully they can't stop it. Everybody with 17 hybrids. I gotta go play paper, where people respect the damn hybrid. We can Revels and Absorb, for what that's worth. And I guess the Rakdos Guild Gate does nothing much for us, so we'll play the other gate here. Sphinx and Flyer, I guess. I think we're just dead, though, right? If they figure out to attack with everything and pump, we're dead. If they cast something, we're not dead. Seriously, Soriforms going 13th. So, big guys, we're low on Death Touch for sure. We had one Death Touch pick we could have made. We went this way. May be able to get, like, something out of their hand. This is not Exile, though, so it's not like getting rid of the Gate Colossus matters. This kills the Gate Colossus. Maybe we'll take this over a Quench, because it buys us some Gate Colossus time. But really, we want this on the Gate Colossus. I'll run that back. Run that out. Yeah, hopefully we hit Cry at the right time. All right, keepable. How many gates do you want in a deck before playing Colossus? 4 or 5 minimum. I don't mind it as a 6-drop, and it's maybe even okay as a 7-drop, so like 4 is probably fine, but it's not great. Right now, we're looking at a gate on 3 and a messenger on 4, and then either Chillbringer or Juggler on 5. Yeah, we didn't draw anything else to change that plan, so unfortunately we're gating here. I played a gate and it snapped over to Oppo's turn, so they do not have Fairy Duelist. They may have Essence Capture, but they do not have Fairy Duelist. And that's super annoying. We'll see if they have a gate to get that through, but we'll play this and our messenger. Expecting a gate here, though. Usually someone who plays a turn 3 sneak has set up their hand for a turn 4 unblockable. Just so. Oh, I haven't undone my mana either. I need to remember to do this mana change between matches, because I don't have a basic swamp in my mana adjusted deck. And you can see that we're light on blue here, which was the problem. Really worried about that sneak, so I'm going to chill it.
All right, everyone, chill.
Thank you for follow, Burning B-Man. There's a Colossus for us, and they are tapped down on mana, so we get to definitely cast it here. Do we get to cast anything else this turn? Not really, but we're cool with that. I feel like I might as well attack with the Chillbringer here. It's not going to be able to block the Aeromunculus next turn. Heck, we can attack with the Syndicate Messenger and maybe... Well, no, we'll leave the Messenger back, because if they don't have a gate, it can block the Sneak, and it blocks the Slinger, too. Oh, they have the +1/+1. Well, we have Fairy Duelist, so we won't lose our Chillbringer here. I might let it go. We have Dead Revels. Huh, what are they saying? With that maneuver. Yeah, we could Blade Juggler for the cheap here, but no, let's just get this Colossus on while they can't counter it. No, DJ, that change was made in the middle, in sideboarding during the first match. It has reset to what we submitted at the end of the draft. Oh, I see. Yeah. Sure. Well, I did, to be fair. Just wasn't conscious about it. One trick to be aware of is that it can bring a creature's power down below blocking Colossus levels, if that becomes relevant. Ooh, Absorb is nice here. Dueling the Sneak to stop a draw. If I was going to play the Duelist anyway, sure. That is not how I want you to juggle, sir. I think essence capture is happening here. We kind of saw that held up on turn 2. But we'll absorb that. Ooh, even better. I like it. Hopefully they play one big, like 3 or 4 powered chump for the Colossus, and then we can shrink it for the win. This is one of those critical points where, let's say Oppo's only plan here, okay, and this is a great spot to show it, like, we'll have the chance to duelist in response, but it does not automatically stop for you in your declare attack phase, such that if your opponent does something at instant speed during your attack phase, and you want to respond to it before you get to blocking, you have to go into full control mode, or when you let their thing resolve, it'll go back to, oh, we don't stop for the player in their attack phase, so let's just keep going to blocking. So in this case, we'll be able to respond with the duelist when the Aeromunculus, should the Aeromunculus adapt, go on the stack. And we're also going to attack with everything here. No need to hold back. But if they pump the Aeromunculus to be able to stop the Gate Colossus, I think we just win because we get to duelist down the Aeromunculus. Biomancy. So returning the Gate Colossus, making that big, that's fine. It gets big, but the duelist will prevent a trade. Although I might, with Dead Rebels, we might just accept it. I think I will. Let's make some trades. Or allow some things to die, because then it really clears the way for the Gate Colossus next turn. Whichever you want, Oppo. Yeah, we'll accept this without saving the Chillbringer and just get them both back. Oh, did the other one... Oh, the messenger didn't die. I was thinking they both died. Interesting. So they just chumped... Oh, they bounced there. Do we want to even? Wait. Yeah, sure. We cast it now. We're doing it. Maybe they're doing that because they're looking to counter the Gate Colossus on the way back down. I'm still going to go ahead and let them do that because we'll get it back with the next gate. I don't think there's any counters here that exile it. So go ahead, you counter this. We'll get it back. And that's the essence capture we were somewhat worried about. They get a free sneak. We may just be falling behind on the sneak is the problem here. Once again, the Applied Biomancy proved its worth. It's a very good card. Thanks for hanging out today. I know there's other stuff going on that's drawing a lot of eyeballs away from me, but 50-some folks are hanging out with me while we play Magic today, and I really appreciate that. Colossus of their own incoming. And a Pteramander. Man, this has gotten out of control. And of course, we have 9 mana and 10 worth of stuff. But I think we start... If we just play the Colossus, the new Colossus, then if they don't have counter spells, next turn we get... Like, they need to leave Colossus, Slinger, and Aeromunculus back. Well, I guess Pteramander also does it. I guess they have a lot. 1, 2, 3. Pteramander becomes a 5/5 on a mere 5 mana. Yeah, I guess they have some blocking options. But maybe we'll draw a gate, in which case we can, like, suicide the Colossus in, put 2 more Colossi on top, and Chillbringer comes in for some help at that point. They're looking at our graveyard now. You're gonna play a gate of their own and get that sneak in again. I could use a sneak. Alright, they got no attacks they're comfortable with. That is not, in fact, a gate. If we Chillbringer this turn, they've got a 5/5 Pteramander incoming. We probably need a Chillbringer just to have a defense in the air against an attacking 5/5 combined with the Messenger. If we could also allow them to throw the Pteramander in front. Probably just want to tap down the Gate Colossus with a Chillbringer and then force them to interact with the Gate Colossus. I like that. Oh, they've got counters? More counters. All the counters. I think we might lose if they counter this. Don't know how... We need this Chillbringer to win, I think. It could be just pausing because they can Pteramander or whatever. Wow, just all the answers. This is a heartbreaker. We had him on the ropes and now it's all falling apart. Well played by Oppo, though. They turned it all around, starting from this applied Biomancy. We were basically trying to get him dead before the card advantage they were getting off the sneak caught up to us, but unfortunately, it was not to be. And now we're just pretty dead. Well played, Oppo. Similar decks. Ours is just white-blue to their kind of white-green. Let's see. If we were to win this, what would happen? It would be because we draw Sphinx's... no, the Law Mage's Binding for the Colossus. And yeah, we just need to draw too many things. We need to draw like card draw and have it draw us 2 perfect things. So we need to go Sphinx's Insight into 2 answers. I think we do this though. Shrink here. I guess we didn't need to shrink there. I guess it keeps the duelist alive, but then my thought was we block like this, and we chump over here. Theromunculus lives, and we draw the Sphinx's Insight into 2 pieces of action. Oh, do they have more than I... Oh, they had Engineer. Sorry, they had more mana for that than I was thinking. Well, we get this now. Take the action. No attacks. Are we just dead? Taking 9. Taking... We can take up to... we can take 13, so we take 9 and like 3 and 1, and then we block. Yeah, we can't stop it all. Block the biggest stuff, still die. Only losing to Colossi of somebody else's. Great format. Oh, the Colossus is just a mistake. It's and especially an arena mistake, but I think it's just a mistake. Okay, I am super hungry, and I'm going to go get some lunch, and then we will come back and wrap up this event, okay? Okay, let's find some music for you, and I will be right back. How about... I don't have something queued. I've been a lot better about queuing stuff up for the times like this, but I'll find something. Trouble is, I'm also working on 2 different music streaming services, because all of my stuff is on Rhapsody, but the best integration with Streamlabs and stuff is definitely on Spotify. How about... Oh, here's some song I put on my playlist that I don't even recognize. Let's see if it's any good. Half of Everything by Lloyd Cole. This song is just okay. Not sure what I heard to add it to my list, but oh well. There it is. Well, let's adjust mana here. Just going to fade this out. Yeah, we were going to take out this swamp and add in a plains. Maybe we are just heavy enough blue that we want the split. Let's see. I don't know. We want to get vampire down. There's reason for white early. I don't know. 9. Oh, this was do it. So it would be 8, 9, 10. 10 blue versus 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. So 10, 8 versus 9, 9 is the real question. Like, if we had Essence Capture, I'd definitely be on 10. And we do have Absorb. I'm going to try a 10 here. We'll see how this works. Can't keep 6 lands. That looks better. And that's too much of a late game card. We don't need that yet. Favorite card art. I think the recent stuff is all just amazing, but amazing maybe in a homogenized fantasy kind of way. So the stuff that I think of when I think of Magic art that really appeals to me is the old school stuff that stood out in its day. I'm a big Tadine fan. I think Thought Leech is one of my early card art favorites. We've got a Carnarium that we want to get value out of, and this looks like a fine start. The fact of 2 swamps and a Simic Gate is really suggestive of a gate deck over here, which maybe means the Carnarium is not fantastic, but we will try to get some stuff with it here. All right. Excuse me. Cry is currently a 2-for-1, and we can play a messenger without threatening the Cry. So we'll see if we can get even more. Unlikely they're going to do anything to increase the toughness of these Grudians. Goodness. Had a little... Hold on, I'm going to cough my way through this off with mute. Maybe my coughing would have been welcome accompaniment to that Azorius sound. No blocks. Yes, gate. Let's get the Colossus going. Maybe we won't need the Crinarium. More, more, more. 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 Yes. More. More? No. Let's see. Nothing here can block, and the Pteramander can't become a 5/5 or whatever, so we'll attack first and then see about crying. Oh, that's too bad. Means our follow-up spirit is going to die. But I think we can handle it. I think we'll manage. Probably getting a scoop here. Depends if they have an answer in hand or something to do about the Colossus that they can get to. I'm going to save the gate as a... I'd rather have it as a recover Colossus than a land in our current situation. So we're holding the gate. Could have played the fairy, but it doesn't change our clock, and if they do end up with a 3-power creature or whatever, we can use the duelist to get it through. Should have waited on that land. I don't think they have anything here that can, but if they were to kill the Colossus, I would want the opportunity to play the gate here to put it back on top. Play the Vamp. Game 2? Not throwing it in yet. Interesting that they seem to be Orzhov with 3 Simic gates. This is a very weird deck. Alright, we got there. And do we want to show him Duelist or Chillbringer? Chillbringer, less sneaky, so we'll show them Chillbringer. Oh wait, can it, can't hit it. Spells. Spells your opponent's cast. Okay, it will work. It's not spells and abilities. There we go. We only really have one question in sideboarding with this deck. Do we want exposed to daylight or drill bit or not? And I think we're in the not camp, so let's go. Sure. Got a ways to go currently before our double Colossi get going, but I feel they will. Yeah, this is more generically gatey than their last... the last thing they showed. Okay, we drew another blue source, so now we're going to have Absorb or Vampire on 3. Oppo has made a Panther. I think I'm going to go ahead and play the Vampire. This forces them to maybe trade the Panther for something lesser than one of our Colossuses. And then next turn we get play Gate and have Absorb up ahead of potentially turn... We're a little behind on gates for, like, super aggro Colossuses, but we should get them pretty soon. Quench is interesting here as well. Oh, I didn't mean to play the planes. What am I thinking? Hasty, hasty. When it comes to casting the Colossuses, it doesn't actually really matter whether you play a gate or a regular. A regular land adds 1, and a gate reduces it by 1, which is the same net. So in terms of chasing the Colossuses, it doesn't matter, but in terms of optimizing the sequencing of our mana, we'd much rather just have 3 mana up and 1 down right now. I don't know, like... Drill bit's probably never coming in. It's just it's at least worth considering that it reaches into an opponent's hand and plucks out something from it. So if they had something we didn't feel like we had the tools to deal with, we could get it. But I don't like it for Colossus because again, it just puts it in the. I'm going to let him have that. I didn't want to use Absorb on that, and I don't want to cast the Messenger here. We'll continue keeping up our counter magic. So I can't even tell you where I would bring in Drill Bit. Maybe for some green deck that had multiple expensive, hard to deal with type cards. Yeah, we'll absorb this. They may have been playing around Quench and now think that... they don't have to. We don't have a play here that lets us keep Quench up, though. So I'm going to Juggler and look for land to help these Colossuses along. There we go. If we draw a basic land now, we actually have Colossus with Quench up, if that ends up mattering. No luck there. So we don't get really Colossus plus anything. And Oppo is showing Counterspell mana, but we have a second Colossus, and Gates would get that back for us anyway. And I don't see anything else here. Like, we could play an Eel to try and threaten the double block on the Ram. And then we have Quench up again. That actually might be okay. Except we have Dead Route. Like, I just don't care if the Colossus gets countered, really. So I'm going to try it. It has to get exiled or enchantment removed before I'm too concerned. I think eel is super solid. It's not amazing, but a 5/5 from blue on the installment plan is pretty good. Yeah, I was talking while chomping. I'm glad I was still muted. Oh, this is what they did. I didn't see that. Okay, and I was just saying, what is the thing we don't want to see? There it is. Yeah, I still got to go for a Colossus in order to play something that's relevant to this Ram. They still have counter magic up, but maybe they have another binding. That would be insane if they got both of our Colossuses under bindings. That would be GG, I think. And it would be a very good reason for us to bring in enchantment removal. Just the flyer? All right, just the flyer. Good news for our own attacking Colossus. Duelist could help with tricks, and we do have Eel plus Quench. But we can figure out what we're casting after we attack here. Let's see, that's going to do 3, and then they're going to try and trade off. So the Fairy Duelist does save the Colossus, so that's cool. Scoop. Got Quench up as well, so even if their final card is something, if it's 4 or more mana, we get to quench it. That's a lot to ask, though. I don't know what they would have. Maybe the final payment here would make some sense. And I could play a Messenger to block in the air, but I kind of like Eel to try to apply some pressure on the ground. Hoping Oppo cracks the Locket here. That would be a good sign for us if they're digging for answers via Locket. Or Shimmer, for that matter. It looks like they'll be able to dig fairly deep, although now they are off of... I mean, they had to do what they had to do, but right now they don't have Locket cracking mana anymore. One thing we get back, I'm thinking of suiciding the juggler in We could... we don't really need to. Let's just have the Colossus get there. I'm overthinking. Sure. Slow it down. I get it. Again, it kind of does work against the Colossus without actually letting me use its recursive ability. Oh, I let auto tap F me. It's not going to matter. Quench is just kind of a dead card, but I did let auto tap do me in here. It's possible they crack a locket and then do something that could have been quenched. Or maybe they find something here, draw it, and cast it, and we could have quenched it. In which case, but auto tap is my problem to manage. 3 bottom is good to see. Nothing to help the Colossus problem in their top 3 at any rate. Again, don't feel quite the need. Although it's better now. I'm gonna go ahead and say now you've got to, if you're gonna avoid the big stuff, they're just gonna eat this and we get in an extra. Yeah, it's with the eel, it's enough. I'm gonna start offering this because we have the Revels. Happily get Blade Juggler back with the Revels. There was enough for them to pay, I think. Did I miss something? If I missed a quench on that, it was definitely something we should have quenched. I didn't think we had the ability, but I might have missed something. It happens. Yeah, it was probably just a momentary lapse of reason. So what are they doing here exactly? Hard thoughts from Oppo. Is Oppo rage quit? Or are they just in the tank? I'm not sure. Yeah, it's not going to cost us the game, but if I was able to quench the slime bind and failed to, that was just a straight up punt. Well, play the birdie. I think they're just, they rage quit, but I hope everything's okay with Oppo. Yep. I think we're just might as well AMA me because we're waiting. We're waiting until the timer decides Oppo's done. Gloomhaven has been very neglected with all of the drama in my life in the past since the holidays. I got a Gloomhaven organization kit thing that I got to put together. That's actually first thing I got to do before Gloomhaven is put together the thing to hold Gloomhaven. Maybe I'll do that today after the stream. But I also have some other adulting things. Maybe I need to save Gloomhaven for the evening. I'm going to try and convince my daughter to listen to the Adventure Zone while gluing together a Gloomhaven storage solution with me. Well, not a very sporting way for Oppo to go out, if it was indeed BM, but I'll take the win, and let's run right back in. We've got a cache for the free-to-play account. That's nice. Let's see if we can get the free-to-play account, the buy-in, back. Wow, no black yet, and all this stuff needing black. But this hand is pretty good if we get it. Its trouble is this is already a mulligan, effectively. Being 2 black sources away from the cry is a stretch. So then we're kind of relying a little too heavily on a fairy duelist to manage in the early game. If there were for sure an Orzhov Guildgate right on top of the library, I would keep this, but I think we have to mulligan this. We'll keep this, and keep the gates, and hopefully Colossus gets down early enough. This is like another mulligan, though. All the gates! It's kind of funny. Finally, the church bells have stopped ringing. Main deck drill bit, interesting, okay. I guess we don't care about much of this. I can play the duelist, but if they want to use up the drill bit on the duelist, I'm happy with that. So we're just going to let them... I think the Sphinx is playable in a deck that needs a finisher and intends to make the game go long. It's probably not the best in our deck, but we don't have much to replace it with. So... And they can ditch the Colossus if they want, but obviously we'll get that back before it matters. Or we'll be dead. Like, there's got to be a gate somewhere in the top, 5 to 10 cards. That's what I would have chosen, so I agree with Oppo's pick. Not knowing their hand, obviously, but... I guess I should have just cast the Duelist. They know about it. We're not going to get him with it, so I'll cast it this turn. Untapped land, and we can... any land, and we can Colossus here. That's cool. Ah, we milled all the land. Darn it. Look at that. I guess the top card was a messenger anyway, though. We will, however, take our eel and get in for one. That was too bad. Their shields were down and everything. Now their shields are up, so it's like, I don't know. Land flood wouldn't have been the worst for us. We lost, if we had drawn these 3 islands, we'd just end up with the Sphinx out, and that wouldn't have been too bad. Dead Revels was helped by it. Interesting. Are they really giving up this wall, or is this just gonna get bounced? Feels like this might just get bounced, but we're not. We're kind of spinning our wheels here anyway, so okay, Oppo, you got us. Bounced or bound. So definitely have some targets for disenchant type effects. Looking ugly for us here. You're a little bit late, Absorb. We had a good... Oh, you can't even cast you anyway. You're irrelevant, Absorb. So I think we just pretty darn dead here. We're at 12. We can't do anything to prevent going to 4. And we can't cast this. Let's move on and not show anything further. I guess we could draw I guess we could draw a Binding and stop the Colossus, so we should give ourselves that chance. And we can reduce the damage from the Colossus by 2. Yes, because you can't always cast them super early. I mean, and obviously they're best in a just heavy gate deck, but barring that, if you're just saying, oh, my aggro deck has a lot of gates or my control deck has a lot of gates, where would you want the Colossus? I would want it in the control version of that. It's super, super grim here. That might just finish us off completely, but like I wanted to give ourselves a chance to draw the Arrest, to draw a spell that would stop that, but we did not. So yeah, we did get to see yet another target, though, so that was good of Oppo to show that to us. Let's see if we can win the next 2. I'm not hopeful. Their deck looks very good, but maybe we can get there. I'm going to bring in both the Daylights. Going to cut a Quench. And actually the Sphinx. I'm feeling like we don't... That's not where we're at. We're going to win with the Colossuses or we're not. My Sick Duck, you can look here. I can't because we're in mid-game, but if you go to your home scene, there's a picture of like a lotus-looking icon, and if you hover over that, it'll show you. You can also go to your collection, and the first objects in your collection, and if you go edit your decks, you'll see your wild cards. Let's see, we did that, we cut that, and we're happy with the... Yeah, let's try this. Sounds like you used them up. Binding for their Colossus. Still have some. All right, well, there you go. Eel or Messenger? Eel is bigger. Also, if we eel, we have potentially adapt plus final payment next turn. Let's make an eel. Also, Oppo missing a land, so we want to get as big as we can as fast as we can. Try to punish him for that. It's the DJ. Two other creatures. I don't think we're going to final payment here. So let's set up for more mana next turn. Might even just do Threat of Activation here and play the Messenger. Because Adapt is worth an extra 2 damage, and getting a Syndicate Messenger out this turn is also worth effectively an extra 2 damage, so we'll just do that. Is there a mana cost to that? Just gets to tap and do it. So we have a good sacrifice now to the priest, if that becomes relevant. Solid exile. No 1/1 token for me. And now they've got a really nice... with only one creature, if we invest in making it bigger, it gives them a great play on Priest. We could just take out the Priest now, though. Might be the right thing to do. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's get in for 5. Well, we can wait. Let's see if they have a creature. If they cast a creature, we might need to respond by killing the priest. Right now, they can't activate the priest because they don't have a second creature, second expendable creature. Yeah, so leaving the priest back is suggestive that they are going to try to cast a second creature and have the priest activation, so we're going to be ready to... unfortunately go to 10, but in doing so, hopefully leave them with not a bunch of great not very good options. No, 10th District Veteran, not, like, do I even care? Like, if they sacrifice both of those, we sack the eel. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Probably take the Binding here, although the Revels isn't a bad play given... I guess we don't have anything. No, they won't take the Revels, will they? So probably losing the Binding since payment is far more of an annoying cost for us. Oh, really? Okay. Surprised they didn't make me have to use life in order to have removal. They're still stuck on mana. I'm going to go ahead and bind the veteran because it prevents them from being able to get in 4 and have a chump. But yeah, I say, like, we have so much riding on this eel. I don't like where we're at, and there you go. And it's not even dead. Oh, we at least get it back. All right. Well, this saves us some Saints Row damage. Do we want to be greedy and try and get another thing with it? Probably can't afford to be. And yeah, eel. Hey, New Brew. How goes? go to 6 for the chance that we get rid of another creature or two. It's a little greedy, but I'm going to do it because we're so low on cards. But we're behind here. And if we can make a recovery through Cry, it might be the difference. Well, interesting. Now I kind of don't want to because this is a 1/1. They've reduced their clock here. We have exposed to daylight, but so far I don't have a reason to do that. I'm gonna... This is an instant? Instant. Alright, we're gonna have to go and get an eel. Pretty weak play here. But Oppo self-harming with the high alert with the Savant out is interesting. Juggler also worse with high alert out, so I don't even want to use it yet. And Carnarium, come on, more? No. Well, now we'll cry. And eel? Just keep getting us. Boy, we're losing to some sketchy cards in this one. I guess we will let them think they've got game before we get rid of the high alert. I guess it does allow them to untap their creatures, but that doesn't really matter here. Alright, that does some blocking. Oh, it's super dead though. Yeah, we didn't have... Hilariously, I had to actually ditch the Colossus. I was thinking we could block and survive, but no. I think our deck was a lot better than Molcarv's. Maybe not a lot better. They had a fine deck. But couldn't quite get there. So that's a boo. Gonna have to enter that in the record. We claim this prize. At least with the 2/2, the free-to-play account gets some gems back.